If you've been wondering who would want to become Speaker of the House after Kevin McCarthy was unceremoniously shoved aside yesterday with a push from members of his own party, the answer has come quickly. Two Republicans officially stepping forward today saying they will compete for the Speaker's gavel, setting off a scramble to gather support and votes from within a splintered Republican caucus that's governing with a slim majority. Uncertainty over the next speaker rendering Congress paralyzed tonight at a critical moment. A new threat of a government shutdown looms on the not-too-distant horizon. A vote on a successor to McCarthy is at least a week away. And there are concerns tonight over the real-world impact if the process goes longer than that. We start tonight with Ryan Nobles.
Tonight, the Republicans scramble to find a speaker, with the House now at a standstill.
I think the view from the outside is that the House is paralyzed.
That's a good description. The House is largely paralyzed.
The House won't return to vote on a new leader until next week. Already jumping into the race, current number 2 Republican Steve Scalise.
And this is really important that we get this right.
And conservative firebrand Jim Jordan.
I feel like I can unite the conservative voters across the country.
Overnight, former President Trump posting, "Why is it that Republicans are always fighting among themselves? Why aren't they fighting the radical left Democrats?" Now some lawmakers floating his name for the job, too.
A lot of people have been calling me about Speaker. I'll do whatever it is to help, but my total focus is being president.
Until there's a speaker, critical work is left to languish, including another potential shutdown showdown just 44 days away. And tonight, President Biden concerned about funding for Ukraine, speaking to NBC's Peter Alexander.
It does worry me, but I know there are a majority of members of the House and Senate in both parties who have said that they support funding Ukraine.
All of it after that historic move yesterday. 8 Republican hardliners joining with every Democrat to remove Speaker Kevin McCarthy. That handful of Republican holdouts upset after McCarthy worked with Democrats to avoid a government shutdown and empowered by a new rule allowing just one lawmaker to call a vote to remove the speaker.
I don't regret standing up for choosing governance over grievance.
Those conservative hardliners are not backing away.
I just want someone who's going to keep their word to us and everyone that they do deals with.
And GOP moderates are pleading to change the process.
I think no speaker should ever have a proverbial gun to their head at the threat and the whim of one or, in this case, 8 members.
Right now, Republican resentment running high against those conservative rebels.
I think if we hung around here right now, you would probably see some folks breaking out in a fist fight, and I'd love to tell you I'm kidding.
And Ryan, we should remind folks it took Speaker McCarthy 15 rounds of voting to get the job last time, and we won't see a new vote for Speaker until next week.
Yeah, that's right, Lester. House Republicans will gather on Tuesday for an internal competition for the job. But the earliest that we'd see a vote on the House floor would be Wednesday. And only that happens after there is a candidate who's secured enough votes to become the next Speaker of the House. Lester?
Ryan Nobles, thank you. Let me bring in senior Washington correspondent Hallie Jackson now. And Hallie, even when a new speaker is chosen, we're still going to see this divide between the majority of Republicans and this small group of holdouts.
Yeah, we sure are, Lester. That division that you're talking about, that's the reality for the next Speaker of the House there, especially if they keep this rule that lets just one member call for a vote to kick the Speaker out. Now, these so-called Republican rebels politically, remember, they don't have much to lose. These are people you're seeing in solidly safe Republican seats. But some of their GOP colleagues are a lot more vulnerable in swing districts with margins that are a lot closer. And if the next speaker ends up pulling the House too far to the right to placate those hardliners, those vulnerable Republicans could be at risk come 2024. That means, of course, that GOP control of the House could be at risk. They don't have a lot of wiggle room, as we know. The longer that this drags on, the more of a real-world impact you're going to see. A week without a speaker, okay, probably not make or break. You talk 3 weeks, 4 weeks without a speaker. It is a different story, especially when you think about that government shutdown deadline that's now just 40-plus days away. You talk about uncertainty that could spook the markets, which is something else to watch, Lester. So the bottom line tonight, a lot of questions and very few answers.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.